I was gonna say last time when 21 came in, I was like,
Yeah,
how
and you were
does
like,
he-
what the
how
fuck?
do you know my
How
name?
do you know my name?
How
You've been
do
doing
you
your
know?
research.
Yeah, actually, if you actually put my name on internet, that a lot of things will come out, which is scary.
Did you say scary?
I mean, yeah, nowadays, like, they can see everything about you, right?
Oh, you mean scary as in how personal the
Yeah,
information?
yeah.
Damn.
Because, come on, it's scary.
Obviously, I'm gonna beep out now. Like,
Yeah?
I'm gonna beep out because we said it and it's like on here, but I'm gonna go beep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I've said it twice now, so I have to go beep twice.
You have to, yeah, no, definitely. Well, let me put this, yeah. Don't, no. No, third
See, I have to beep it 3 times.
Don't, no belonging to that. I mean, you as well, isn't it? Like,
One delts, but you can call me Ben if you like. I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But, I like people, people that are like, I guess not really creative, so I don't mind them calling me Ben. But I guess if you're creative, yeah, I prefer you to like call me by my creative name too.
Yeah, that's
But
the thing.
again, I'm not actually too rigid on that as
Fussy
well.
and, yeah, I guess.
That's gonna come over here, I'm sure.
Yeah, should we put
By the way, people, this is apple juice.
that's apple juice,
This
yeah.
is apple juice, people.
Yeah,
We don't.
of course. Yeah.
Now, if you see
We're not crackheads.
if you see my other episode, like we had like what we were calling Ribena or cranberry juice, like it was what was it for real? Magnum. You know Magnum,
yeah, of course I do know that.
Yeah, it was Magnum, so it's very like thick. Like the texture of it is like it's like syrup basically. It's almost like Calpol or some shit. Like no, maybe more like a cough syrup.
Yeah. And I didn't know Magnum is a wine actually. It got me shocked when I tried the first time. I never tried before coming here.
Oh, so you didn't know it was a wine?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know Magnum in general.
So when you saw it, what did you think it was like? What?
More like a spirit or something, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I tried it. It's like, nah.
I think it's pretty strong for
a wine.
It's pretty strong for a wine. I think.
Have you ever tried Malbec, the red wine?
Like, do you know what? I'll be honest. I don't really drink wine.
Yeah.
But wine does fuck me up when I do drink it.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you know what it is? The Magnum just has a little bit of a kick. Like it's got like a bit of almost like it has a bit of liquor in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's true.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by strong. I don't mean by like it doesn't do much to me. It doesn't get me drunk. I can never say I've been drunk off Magnum unless I've been drunk off Magnum and Cavassier because I use the Magnum as the mixer.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking insane, right? But yeah, that's like asking for trouble, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never like been drunk off a Magnum, but I have been drunk off red wine. Yeah, like red wine, rosé. I don't think I've been drunk off white wine. I think white wine is just disgusting, but that's just me. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm more of a spirit person myself, so.
Yeah, no, definitely wine. Red wine is heavy,
Yeah.
The next day is like, ew,
Yeah, you know what? I've got a crazy story, actually. I might give you this story. But before I give you the story, let's do it.
What are you telling me?
What are you telling me, my G?
What are you telling me?
What are you telling me?
What are you telling me? What are you telling me, though?
What are you telling me?
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 Yo, it's One Delts. What you telling me, fam? It's What You Telling Me podcast, episode 12. 12?
12. It's my number as well, 12.
Is that your number, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yo, listen, episode 12. And we have, oh my God, I was about to say Elani.
Eleni.
Eleni.
Yes, that's me. Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
so we're going to run this back. Let's run this back. What You Telling Me podcast, episode 12. It's One Delts in the house. And we have Eleni
Hello.
joining us here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes,
Tell us what you do, what you your thing. Give us your thing. What's your thing?
All right. So I am currently an entrepreneur. I will define myself an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I am creating something for myself. So for the first time, just finished uni and And yeah, on the side, I try to do music as
You don't try to do music. What are you talking about, girl? You don't try to. You either do music or you don't. You don't really try to do music.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, it's like, yeah, you're trying your best to do what you can do. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you do music on the side. I love anything that is a form of expression,
Of course,
art,
yeah.
everything. So it can be like any type of form of art. And I try to get along with any type of creative person, to be honest.
So basically, if you're creative and you want to collaborate, Eleni here would, love to collaborate, love to link up and make some creative magic happen, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up.
Definitely.
And that's why we have you here today.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's how I met you, you know? So yeah.
Hang Tag 21.
Yeah.
Hang Tag 21, we're gonna get your ass in here soon.
We will.
We need to get your ass in here.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna escape here forever.
No,
yeah.
We're gonna,
21 is one that's always in the room. Yeah. But like he's not always necessarily in the room.
Yeah. I mean, creative people, majority of creative people are just made of like very, introverted people, more like the one that, they find a way of expressing through art, because they can't very much express themselves through like the normal way of expressing.
Or don't prefer, maybe don't prefer.
Yeah, true. Or maybe they do really struggle. That's where like, art comes as a way of expression.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But I think even if you're not too, even if you can like get your way across, because I feel like I get my way across whichever way really. I'm quite a loud person. I'm very chatty.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm around someone that I give a shit, like, and I enjoy the company of, if I'm around somebody, that's just there for the sake of it, like, friends are friends sometimes that are just like, not to call anyone specifically out, but if I'm around a friend, and we don't really kick it like that, we don't really, get along, I might not necessarily be the loudest in the room anymore. I might just tuck myself into the corner and become 21 for the night. You know what I mean? That's how it goes.
21 though.
Yeah, no, I'm type 21.
We're all 21.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. Yeah, we are. We are all 21 in our own time.
Yeah.
We have our moments.
I mean, people, they don't know 21 is like what these guys are talking about.
They have to.
21.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. They will know. They will know.
They will know.
They will know.
Because we are going to bring him here.
Yeah, we're gonna get him in here. We're gonna drag him in here.
Yeah.
We'll do a 3-way episode. We'll have you.
Yeah.
You and 21. Yeah. As a guest. Yeah.
12 and 21. See if you flip them.
Yeah, there you go. 12 and 21. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's and then awesome. You got one belt.
Yeah.
You get me.
That's you.
That's what's up. I'm just the number one in the middle. Just put number one. Yeah. So it's one. It's 1 2 1 2 1.
And
yeah.
then
it's 1 2 1 2 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. 1 2 1 2 1.
Yeah, and then it's always 3, which is the magic number, isn't it? 3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So
we just
see you on the next episode.
And like, if I want to get technical, there's 3 cameras right on that phone, like that we're filming with 2, 3 lights, fuck it. We're getting technical with it. But okay, cool. I did want to give you a story. Okay, so
oh yeah, let's hear this story.
Drunken stories. Okay, so I used to work in the Olympics. Yeah. 2012 Olympics when it came to London. For a very small period, done some BBC work, and then, but majority of it, I was doing it with OBS. At the end, there was like, it was like OBS is Olympic Broadcasting Services, and at the end, there was like a big party in the International Broadcast Centre. It was in the Olympic Park. Like, I think the building now is like the BT Sports Building now, I think. But yeah. Obviously, we heard about it late. We're like, okay, cool. What is on? Okay, fuck it. Why not? Obviously, the shifts were crazy because the Olympics was on till late and it was on from early. So, yeah, like we basically, there was still like a couple of days left actually, but they were doing a party. They were like, fuck it, like you might as well. And we went there. There's loads of presenters, BBC presenters, like different presenters from different media outlets. And obviously people that we're working with also, so just the people that were doing a lot of the digital work. And they were giving out free beers and free wine. It's weird. Like, that was the only thing they were giving out. Yeah, they had beers, like loads and loads of beers, and they had loads and loads of bottles of wine, rosé. And when I say bottles, I mean like the full bottles of wine. Yeah, and it was a bit strange, you know. Went in there, you know, just seeing the personalities and whatever, and it's a bit surreal, you know. So we're like, fuck it, like, you know, let's get it in. I was a bit shy, like, yo, you know, like, I know they said free, but do I just go over there and, you know, say, yo, give me a bottle? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know, this is weird. But it's like, okay, cool. Went there. The guy's just giving me the bottle. I'm like, okay, cool. So I don't know how long that took, but that went down in no time. Went for another one. Went down in no time. And yeah, I remember like just obviously having a good time, going crazy, dancing my bloody life away. And like, I remember the drink like hitting me in the middle of the club. Like, it just hit me. So I was like, boom. Like, I think I was like, because I don't know, you know, wine goes down like water for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like when I drink wine, it's like...
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. So, technicals.
Technicals matter. Sorry, guys. All right, go ahead.
But obviously, like, you know, you can go down with the wine like it's water sometimes, you know, it doesn't, you know, I'm used to drinking spirits where like you get a warning on the way down, you know, for instance, like, you know, I'm going to get a warning on the way down when I sip this, you know what I mean? So it's like, wine, excited, thinking that it's not doing nothing to you, enjoying your time, drinking more and more. And like, yeah, it just hit me. Like, I don't know. I feel like I just stopped and wobbled for a second. I'm like, fuck. So they had a nice sofa in the end. I remember going to that sofa and just laying down and just like, I feel like I just passed out. Like, I just slept. Yeah, I remember just leaning like on the armrest. I was gone. Yeah, and I just remember someone waking me up like, you know, yo, party's over, yo, like, get up. And I was like, shit, this is crazy. And the worst part about it is obviously, I had work there again, but I drove there. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I have to sleep over. Fuck. Yeah. And I didn't know that there was anywhere to sleep or anything like that. I was like, fuck. So this is the craziest part. I found like a disabled toilet, and this disabled toilet was like, I must be honest with you, it was pristine. Like, I've never been in any toilet, to be honest with you, that's a public toilet that's that clean. But I do also think that I got lucky that the door was open. I think nobody really goes in there. It's always locked. So I don't know how I've gotten in there, but I was like, yo, cool. And I went in there, and I remember there was like, you know, the big blue rolls. Yeah. And imagine, this is how competent I am when I'm drunk. Like, I rolled it out until I had like a pillow worthy. Yeah. I like fucking, I like just passed out on there. That shit was crazy. So obviously I woke up at like, so the party was done like 5 or 4 or something like that. I remember waking up at like 7:30. So I was probably gone for like 2 hours. Yeah. It was comfortable. Like, when you're drunk like that.
Engineer. Oh gosh.
Crazy.
You an engineer.
Yeah, like
pillow there.
when I'm drunk, like, you know, when I'm drunk, only God knows what I'm capable of. Like, you know, I could probably build a house. I'll build a house. Like, well, I wouldn't recommend just you walk in there.
I don't know how safe it can be, but yeah, wine can get you quite sleepy. To be honest,
I was fucked. So now I woke up at 7. Like, I woke up at 7:30. I'm like, yo. My head is fucked. I'm like, no, this is not it. I need to find somewhere else to pass out ASAP. Obviously, I haven't got work for a long time. I had like a late shift. But that's why I drove there, because I thought, I'm gonna, you know, I wasn't planning to drink. I didn't know they were giving out free wine and beers. I wasn't going to spend my money at the place of work. I don't do that shit. Like, you know, where I'm working, if you sell drinks, you better give it to me for free.
Yeah, no.
As like part of the job, maybe on your, you know, at the end of the shift, cool. But like, I can't spend money that you're giving me.
Yeah, no,
I can't give it back to you for some alcohol.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So obviously, I got up and I was just like crawling, like, you know, I feel like I couldn't even move too much. Every like, my brain felt like it was slapping across the wall like a pinball machine, you know. And I managed to crawled down and I looked down one of the rooms and I was like, and the room just had like loads of like lounge beds and like loads of like the people that were in the party, like just, and I was like, for fuck's sake, how did I not know about that place? So I just spent 2.5 hours in the fucking disabled toilets. I should have just crawled my ass over to this place. But to be honest, I don't think I would have made it. I was that fucked at the time. Like when I woke up, I think I didn't want to throw up anymore. Like my stomach was settled, but my head was fucked. But at the time that I went in there, like my stomach was not settled. So I felt like I was going to throw up, but I didn't end up throwing up. I ended up passing out.
Yeah. Like, come on, I think the little pillow was much better.
Yeah, the pillow was good, but there's lounge beds, man.
Yeah.
Lounge beds. I would have spared myself the at least a bit of integrity.
Yeah, instead of like lying on the floor.
Yeah, but I mean, on the plus side, I locked myself in the disabled toilet. So, you know, the only person that was going to come in there and find me would have been somebody that had to clean it up or whatever. Or change the itinerary.
And I mean, in worst case scenario, you were in the disabled toilet. So, I mean, like, you know, you're quite justified.
Yeah.
You know? What is this guy? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's drunk from the party. Yeah, the party. It was literally next door, to be honest. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we could take away a bit of shame. Like, we'll take some shame away. But that was 2012. Like, that was 10 years ago. That shit was crazy, though.
2012?
Yeah, 2012.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That's crazy. Long time ago.
And that's the thing. Like, that's not my... Like, that's probably one of my worst stories, but it's not my most recent drunk story. I've had some really bad ones. Have you got any?
Drunk story?
Drunk stories. I know. You got one in there somewhere.
To be honest, I can't... Anything come in my mind, to be honest.
Oh, really? Oh, you're very well behaved under the influence.
Not really, but...
Okay, so...
I don't know, maybe I was too drunk that I don't actually remember about them, you know? And I'm someone that tried to...
Has anyone ever told you, like... Has anyone ever come back and said, yo, you're drunk, you done this, man?
Yeah, so basically I remember one night I went out with this. So basically I used to hang out with a lot of guys, friends. You know, I was very much into like more getting along with guys rather than girls. So yeah, these guys, of course, you know, guys do drink a bit. I have the capacity to drink way more than girls. But back then I was a crazy, you know, rebel teenager that just, wanted to, you know, get along as much as, like, drink as much as guys do. And one time we went clubbing to this place that was actually playing American music and all that. So
like a proper...
Yeah, so it was much my
Jumpy.
thing, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was much my thing and all that. And obviously in Italy, we didn't have this thing of like twerking and all that. You know, in America, they do much like twerking. Yeah. Here, they don't do it much either, to be honest.
They do. Depends where you go.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, so basically in America, they do like, it's just a way of dancing. It's very much like twerking, you know. It's
Like, no. In America, I know they throw it down like proper. You know what I mean?
They got crazy, you know, and it's for them. It's nothing too crazy. It's just like the way they dance and all that. So it was American partying, and I was incredibly drunk that night, and I decided to go on the stage. I'm very like not too crazy.
Oh, on the stage?
Yeah, I decided to go on the stage.
I'm not as wild as that. Like, I mean, I do stage sometimes, but I don't know, not too wild.
I mean, I was like, alcohol was very much into my body, to be honest. And it was the guys just presenting all that, and I randomly just decided to go on this stage and just started like, you know, the twerking and all that, and just people were like, you know, just like, you know, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, the next day I completely removed from my mind because probably like my mind didn't want to remember something like that. But the next day they told me about these things and I was like, no, man. You know, these things like...
Why didn't you stop me?
Yeah, exactly, you know. Now, I can think about it and I don't care much. But I swear, like, for at least 4 years of my life, every time my friend they just wanted to, you know, hurt me, they would just bring it up. That story. I'm like...
You remember that time that you were throwing it down?
Like, oh, gosh, you know, but it's all right. I mean, like, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just like... Whatever. So.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Hey, listen, a lot of people do crazy stuff, like, you know, under the influence, like, you know, and as long as it's not something that's stuck with you, you know, as in, like, literally stuck with you, like,
yeah, I mean,
then you know, you can live with it, you know.
Yeah.
You live with it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it is scary.
You didn't fall off the stage, did you?
No, I don't think
then you
so.
good. Then you good, see? Like, if you fell off the stage, then it's like, oh shit, somebody's got a video of that somewhere.
No, but that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, they did the video.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
not of you falling off though. So it's cool.
Yeah, okay. But imagine in a country where, like, twerking is like completely non-existence, and when they see this girl, like,
so
what the
like,
fuck,
Like, what did you just bring here? Like,
like,
where did you learn that?
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you learn that?
What is she doing? And and they were like, oh my god, because of course they very much be close mindset and all that. But I just came back from the States, and I was like, let's bring back.
You were like soaked in all of that.
all
of that Western, that American energy. You're like, oh. When so they're playing hip hop, it means you gotta throw it down.
That's it, yeah. Exactly.
That's cool though.
But
it's good to be able to come out your shell. You know what I mean? Especially when you come out your show and you don't like you didn't embarrass yourself. Like, you didn't fall off the stage or like try and grab onto somebody and end up like just doing something or throw up on somebody. Loads of people like when they get drunk, they've got stories that are like crazy like difficult to tell somebody else without feeling embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, twerking, like, I mean, I've known almost every woman like that I've known for a long period of time. I've known them to twerk at some point of their life. You know what I mean? In the club, it's nothing.
It's quite fun. But yeah, I can't really think about crazy. For sure, I do have them, but. I don't really can think about super crazy
that's
drunk stories.
I mean, that's all right.
The one that
it's not too crazy, but it's all right though.
Yeah, I mean, it's most like
You scratch the surface with a crazy story.
No,
I mean if you remember any, you're gonna have to give us some.
I don't know.
If it pops up later on,
it pops out in my mind. I will say that, but that's the one that most had an effect over me. Over a
long period of time. That's the one that like people could sort of like
because
press your buttons with.
Because for you it might not be too crazy, but trust me, where I come from is like.
So you said you're from where in Italy are you from?
Yeah, I'm from. So basically, I was born in Milan. Oh yeah. I was born in Milan, but I lived my entire life in Turin, which is just next to Milan. I don't know, Turin. Like, Cristiano Ronaldo, where he was when Juventus and all that.
So wait, Juventus is really close to where did you just say?
Wait, what?
Turin. Where did you say you were born?
Milan. Yeah.
So what? They're very close to each other, Milan and.
Yeah, they're quite close.
Oh really? I didn't know that. I never I've never actually like sort of looked at those teams and sort of looked at them geographically, but I've done that. I don't know why. We've done that with Spain. Maybe because I watched Spanish football a bit more.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they're close.
They're quite close, like an hour train, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very close.
Yeah, that's very close. It can be like, Brighton, London, really.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, maybe a bit more, slightly more, but
yeah.
That's mostly.
That's pretty close. I mean, UK is really small, so like when someone says London to Brighton, like, Brighton is like 40 minutes on the train.
Yeah.
If I'm driving, I could probably do it in like, maybe 35. I like to push, press the pedal a little bit, but that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because they're both pretty big teams, so that must like spark up the rivalry a little bit when they're kicking off.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, football in Italy is completely crazy.
I've been to Italy before actually, but I went to Venice.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Are you sure? Like, because they had like Venice, like, and then they had like the city of Venice, like, and that was more like away from the part of Venice that like is sort of promoted the most, if you know what I mean. Like the part where there's loads of water everywhere and stuff, and then like I feel like just on the outskirts, it was a little bit rough. Like I saw like.
Really?
Yeah, I saw like and I was grabbing some smoke from some black geezers that I found. Obviously, when I found a black man, somewhere else, I'm like, yo, what you saying? Like, what's up? Yo, bro, what go on? And they can hear me. They're like, okay, cool. They know that I'm not anything too suspicious anymore because they normally look when I can tell they look because they're like, yo, who's this? You know, is he a cop? Is he, you know, what is he?
Really?
Yeah, no. I every time I go to different parts of Europe and I bump into black people, they normally stare a lot, and I feel like it's intimidation. Like they're a bit worried that maybe I'm something, you know, because they ain't see me before. Maybe they're up to something. They feel like maybe it might have something to do with something else, you know. But whatever, like by the time they hear my accent, they're like, okay, yo, it's, you know, they all seem like to cool off, and they all seem to be a bit more like, yo, welcome in and whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I've gone to grab some green off my guy, and he's like, you know, the police come past, and I'm like, yo, and he's just like, oh, don't worry, and I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, what is Italy made of, bro? Like, what do you mean the police just drove past and it's like, yeah, don't worry, like, and like the police, they didn't even look, they just drove past. I was like, that's crazy. And then like at the end of the road, we see an army truck turn in, and the way everybody turned around, hey, yo, walk there. You know, they gave me my money back, and they didn't hold it. They held on to the shit. Like, you know, they're like, yo, just go there. And like, they walked off. And I was just like, the energy that they walked off, it was like the army was going to come out and just beat the shit out of them straight away. And obviously the police, when they come past, they just look like a joke to these guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy for me.
I don't know. Yeah, it is a bit crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that was on the outskirts though. That wasn't like,
yeah,
you know, when you're in like the main part of Venice. It was, you know, sort of, I guess when you look at the outskirts of London, sort of, you know, you don't get the real London. Thing. You don't get the Big Bens and all of that. You get like, you get Woolwich and you get, you know, you get, you know, Kennington and Barking and all of the shitholes that you can find. Like that's what you get when you go outside of the nice part of London, people.
Yeah.
So if you're from somewhere else, if you're from like Birmingham or Manny or somewhere even more quieter and you've never been London, guys, you know, I've already told you what it is. If you come to the heart, you'll be like, oh, Big Ben, no, the London Eye, you'll be cool. You go to the outskirts, you're just gonna see a bunch of like, yo, what you saying, bruv? Like, and all this shitty energy and crackheads and whatever. Like, London is cool, but you know, it's. Have you ever seen that picture of like Brazil where it has like the really nice, and then it has all the favelas right next to it?
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
It's not as obvious as that. But I feel like London, they're very good at mixing it. You know, like in one area, you go to like so many different areas you go to. You go to this area, it's so amazing. You wouldn't even imagine that there's a shithole part of it. And you go to the shithole part of it, and you're almost worried that like, yo, like these guys live close to these guys, you know? Are they not worried they get robbed or what? No, because that place is very, very policed very well. And this area is sort of like a bit loose, a bit more crime.
Yeah. But yeah, that's very true. Like when people like from Italy or like whatever other country, they see, oh, you live in London, oh wow, super, you know, rich or like super everything, you know. Of course, because you go Oxford Street, Regent Street,
it's easy
super
for you to
cool,
go to.
you know.
That's what makes it cool.
Super rich, but then like, I go like you don't know the real London. Yeah, real London can be
can be rough.
Can be very rough. Yeah, to be honest, and that's crazy because that's true. You can find areas where like. You have the super rich part, and then just next to you, the very rough area, just next to each other.
And these people will cross each other all the time. And, and you know.
Yeah, I remember I used to live in Shepherd Bush, West London.
Yeah.
And you exit Shepherd Bush station, and you go on the right, there is Shepherd Bush, which is very rough. Can get quite rough.
I know about Shepherd Bush.
And then you go on the left side, keep going straight. There is Kensington and Holland Park, Holland Road, and all that. Yeah. So it's this super rich, you know,
super rich versus the
Then like, and you're like, wow, that's great, and just like, you know, 2 minutes walking from each other.
And you would never imagine, like, you know, in my head anyway, when I go to like other places, I used to like. Never imagined that they would, because I went to Marseille once, and Marseille was very like, so like where I was staying was very nice, like it was close to the city center, so you could see loads of like boats and yachts and stuff like that. You know, they have that big square, and like in that square, it's just like yachts all the way around. They do like, and then hotels on the actual land. You'll see hotels all around. And that area was like, crazy, even on the back roads of that area, it's crazy, And then you hop on the train and you take like one stop on the metro, like, and like you step out. Like I remember I took 2 stops. I forgot where it was, but I stepped out. And like I thought I stepped out into parts of Africa because I looked at the floor and I was like, yo, these guys haven't even built like they didn't even fucking sort out the pavement. Like this is just fucking dust. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Hey, yo, Marseille, what you say? Like, how the fuck do you have yachts? Like, you can sell one of those yachts and use that money to fix this fucking floor. What the fuck is going on here? Mm-hmm. And like, I went into some of the houses. Some of them they had like the bars, but they didn't have windows. Mm-hmm. I remember I went into a bar and there was, I think where was he from? Like Tunisian or something like, but the French-speaking African countries, but the ones where they're more like fairer skinned, they're a bit lighter, they're more Arabic-speaking sort of French, and like I went to that area and I remember like everybody was just like, even little kids, they'll just come really close to you and just like walk with you and look at you like, and I'll be like, look at it, I'll be walking like,
who are you?
You're right, like what the fuck? Like, we went into the bar and there was like a shifty. To be honest, like when there's like a dodgy guy, when you know a dodgy guy, like it's the aura. Like it don't matter what country you're from. You could be from.
It doesn't matter.
You could be from Jamaica, Nigeria, Germany, Russia. It don't matter where you're from. When you're a shifty guy, you come over and you're like, and there's just something about the way you're moving. We're like, big man. Just the first sentence, I don't understand it because you're speaking French. I don't understand it all. Like I understood bits and pieces, but I already don't trust you anyway. Like, I don't trust you, dog. And he's like, oh, yo, how you doing? Oh, I'm like, he's speaking French. I'm like, yo, what you talking about, bro? Like, speak to me in English. And he's like, oh yeah, and he spoke English, but like not great, but good enough to have a conversation. So he's like, oh, hey, yo, bro, you're from USA. Everyone just, like, whenever they hear English accent, it's, like, clear enough. They always say USA first. Like, so, you're from America? I'm like, no, I'm from... I'm from London, bro. Like, I don't like America, man. Fuck America, dog. Like, I'm not interested in, in UK, they don't carry guns, so we can be a bit rude to the police here and there, We can defend ourselves without being worried, but... they were like, oh, okay, that's nice. Like, and then, naming places and whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then went into place and paused. Like, let me play you. I win, you pay for the game. If I lose, I pay for the game and I give you the money back. I was like,
oh, man.
I told the guy, I don't even give a shit. Like, I told him, look, I don't even want to. I said to him, I don't want to bet. Like, if you want to play, we can just play. I'll pay.
Yeah.
He's like, let's play it. Because he just looks like he wants to win something. He doesn't look like if I said, look, just take the money, he looks like he would want to still
happy. Yeah.
He still wants to win it for me.
Yeah, want to tease a bit.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, whatever, like we'll play. My friend was like, no, man, like he's gonna do this. I'm like, bro, it's €2 bro. Whatever, let's do it, man. So we're playing. Yeah, imagine.
Let's hear this story.
We're playing he's good, yeah. But it's like, it's me and my friend. He wanted both of us to play. So we're taking turns simultaneously. Mm-hmm. And he's playing on his own. I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. He gets to the black ball, yeah. And he sort of takes very long. Like, he's messing around, so he's not putting it, whatever, giving us chances. And, me and my friend, we just cleaned up everything. So we've missed the black ball. It was awkward at the end, like in an awkward position. And the guy's like, oh yeah, cool. Like, he's so confident because we've hit the ball and it's sitting like in the corner. It's chilling. So it's like, he's won the game. Mm-hmm. So he's like, yeah. And there's a little kid and he's giving the kid the key sticks like, go and finish that, man. Like, I've won. Go finish that, man. So I'm like, yo, big man.
Big man. Let's talk about it.
If you miss, you lose. Yeah. He's like, he won't miss. I'm like, yo, big man. I'm just repeating to him. If you miss, you lose. Yeah. And he was, you know, the confidence was crazy. He was like, trust me. Okay, cool. This kid, yeah, I don't know how the fuck he missed. I don't know how he missed.
No way.
It was sitting on the corner. It was here. It was chilling. He's hit it, and it's. I think it's just like, just scraped it, and it's just not even moved. And I was just like, how have you done that? So obviously my friend's like, yep, boom. As my friend's taking it, I can see the guy is already.
Yeah.
He's headed out the door.
Damn.
So my friend puts it and he gets up. He's like, and I'm like, bro, leave him, man. And he's like, bro, but he said that. And I was like, bro. Because he's one of my friends, well, I don't even chat to this guy no more anyway, but he's one of those people that's very,
impulsive.
Yeah, like, it's like, oh, he promised, so he has to. And it's like, you know, me, I can smell that dodgy energy.
Yeah.
So I've already, like, I did it for the experience. You know, I've already taken the loss I've put my €2 in there. I've taken the loss from early. I don't care. So I'm like, yo, leave him, bro. What's your problem, man? He's like, no. And while he's doing that, the owner of the bar, he's like, wow. He runs to us like, oh, what happened? And he's like, you know, my guy's like, no, but this guy fucking owes me on here. It's like, what? And this guy goes mad.
€2, man.
No, but the guy goes mad. Like, obviously, because the guy knows him. I think the guy said something when he wanted to play us. Like, he sort of told us, like, you know, that we shouldn't play with him. Like, he's the dodgy geezer. But we were like, me, as I said, I took the loss and I didn't care. But I didn't realize my friend was, like, being so extra about it, you know. It don't matter.
Yeah.
So he's pressed. I'm like, oh, fuck this, man, bro. Like, and then the guys come and he's like, hey, and he's grabbed the guy, he's dragged him back. He's like, bro, you fucking dumb. He's switching at him in French, absolutely going crazy at him, you know. And then he's like, grabbed him, pushed him out, like almost like fucking, almost kicked him out, like, you know. He's like, get the fuck out, like whatever. Like, you know, you can hear when they're, you know, when you're cursing in French, you can hear the, you know, you can hear the extra, yeah. So
what the fuck,
you know, he's kicked him out, blah blah, and he's gone into the till, and he's like, no, take this, blah blah. I'm like, bro, chill. It's okay, you know, don't worry about it. I don't give a shit. Obviously, my friend, he was moving funny. I told him, listen, if it bothers you that much, yeah, I'll give you your half back. You know, you can take the €1, bro. Like, you know, stop acting up. But he's just like, you know, righteous. I have to, you know, because he said it and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously he doesn't know, you know, again, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't recognize what a shifty guy looks like, you know?
Probably, yeah. Or maybe his pride was quite touched. And
I don't know why, though. Why was your pride touched, man? The guy ran away. Like, my pride is like, and you know, is higher now. Like, I'm like, yeah, look at him running away like a little bitch. Like, I'm laughing now. Like, I'll make a joke out of it.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, we got everyone different ego, you know, and ego can be, when it's touched, can be quite dangerous. So I guess his ego, for some reason, personal reason, he was just touched, and you know, I don't know the guy, but you know,
but
you know, because €2 is just probably 1.8 pounds or something.
It was nothing. Like, compared to what we brought with us to spend, like, is, you know, it was nothing. It was not a loss, you know. But again, everyone's different.
Exactly.
Some people
we
just can't
accept
take
everyone the way they are, you know, and just.
Some people you can't accept, man. Some people you just have to shake them off if they're not for you. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth. But always feel compassion for everyone, because, like, you know.
No, I do.
That's why
I do, and I agree with that. But at the same time, if someone's not for you, you know,
it's very important.
You can't just like distance yourself.
Yeah, definitely protect your energies, protect your everything.
Protect your inner chi. You don't wanna your zen. You don't want your zen to be tainted. Yeah,
exactly. Very, very, very true. So yeah, definitely, when someone is not right for you, it's important to set boundaries and say, listen.
Speaking of like, because I spoke on zen and stuff, you said you're spiritual. Talk to me. I want to know what's your definition of spiritual.
Well, you know, I don't know. I can't. That's an open question, so there is much to talk about it. Spiritual, I don't know, I will say understanding that there is something much bigger than what life really do looks like.
Yeah.
And understanding there is a reason behind everything. We come here for a purpose, and we are on our journey of life to actually understand what's our purpose of life.
Mm-hmm.
And different from religion, I think spirituality really allows you freedom to actually make the mistake and learn from it,
Yeah.
which religion try to stop you to make the mistakes
Altogether,
yeah, you know, like yesterday I met one of my closest friends. I love her, you know, so much. She's very religious. She follows
yeah, I
much
know.
like Bible and all that.
Yeah.
And she was telling me how you need to sometimes prevent to do those mistakes in order to reach the happiness. While for me, spirituality is the freedom of actually sin, you know, make the sin in order to progress.
Yeah.
And
Because
and
shit happens in
shit
real life. In life,
happens,
shit
you know?
happens no matter what. And like, you know, her holding back, like from trying to sin, is gonna have much more of a, you know, detrimental effect on her cycle, on, you know, on the way she views it when she does actually make that mistake. Because she will
Exactly.
make that mistake. You know, it's impossible not to. And
Yeah.
when you know, the more you hold back, the more sometimes something seems a bit more, you know, fruitful and exciting. You want to pursue it more.
Yeah.
So you know,
That's very true.
it's very important to, like, you know, try and do things within reason.
Yeah, and to be honest, till now, you know, till this moment of my life, the worst things that happened to me are the one that at least that at the end they shaped me the most. So I'm most grateful to, you know, the negative part of my life that allow me to grow so much, you know, and
Do you think?
and to learn. Yeah.
Do you think that that's like something that people don't do then? You know, they don't like embrace the negative enough.
Yeah, I think one of biggest mistake of people is like to keep complaining when negativity happens instead of like understanding why that situation is happening, you know, instead of why is that happening to me? Like try to understand why it's happening for me, you know. When things happen, okay, what am I gonna learn from this, you know? Because I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
So what is the universe trying to make you learn, or, you know, through that? And I feel like a lot of people don't embrace the negative, like through negativity they create even more negativity, and you're just gonna attract even more negativity and negativity, and you're just gonna be stuck in this, you know, negative pattern and circle where like you're completely just lost, you know. And that's where like I I feel like spirituality is just the journey within yourself, you know. It's just like understanding yourself more and more and get in touch with yourself, because I think the very flow of like humans life is like not actually getting to know yourself, you know. And everyone has got, you know, their inner child, everyone's got their own problems and everything. And sometimes, not sometimes, you should treat yourself the way you will treat someone that you actually love, but we tend to be very hard with ourselves, you know.
Guilty.
Yeah. Guilt is the one of the you know, those emotions where like it really, you know, takes you away from like being like free, you know.
And it follows you around.
Yeah. Guilt, self-guilt is something that makes you trap. Anger, fear is one of the, you know, things that makes you trap as well. Shame and all these things, you know, when you should just release all of these things and just let them go, but it's very difficult.
So let me give you a question. For instance, did you see what happened with Anthony Joshua on the weekend?
No, I
You
didn't see
didn't.
that.
So he sort of had a crazy
I
outburst. Yeah, like, and he grabbed the mic in the end. Like at first, you know, it was crazy. You know, at first you see him sort of walking around. When they make the decision, they put the other guy's hand, U6 hand up. He's walking around. You can see he's a bit delirious. Like, from me, I was looking at his face. You know, I know people that's met him. I've seen pictures of him. I've seen videos of him. Like, even on occasion, you know, I've had conversations with people that know him, and he doesn't give off the vibe of someone that is if he had a problem, he would be that kind of vocal about it. He might have maybe later on been a bit, oh, you know what, I'm, whatever, and say it in some interviews later on. But at the time, he's taken a lot of his losses very, very well. He's only had the 2 losses, but the first 2 losses he took them very well and quite respectfully. Despite that, people were already showing criticism anyway. But this time round, it looked like a meltdown. He grabbed the mic. He was walking around when they made the decision, looking like, I don't know where to go. He wasn't really staying with his own people in his corner. He was on the side of the guys that he lost to. He kept on trying to congratulate them, probably a bit too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He disappeared because he felt like he was going to do something stupid. And then he came back. He started he had a big speech, said a few things, but you know what, the reality is, I don't think he said anything too offensive. I just feel like people are upset with the fact that they feel like he took Usyk's moment. I mean, I don't think he did really take Usyk's moment so much in the sense that he probably took his own moment, in losing gracefully. You know what I mean? Like Usyk, no, he hasn't lost anything from the approach that's taken. He's won against AJ before when he took the belts, and I'm pretty sure that felt better. That felt better than when he retained the belts. When he took the belts off him in the first place. But some people would argue, some people would say different, some people would be like, no, that's not the case, or whatever. But what I'm saying is, the meltdown that he had, he didn't directly say anything offensive to anyone or about anyone. People are just like, yo, you made it about yourself and whatever. And what I was saying to a lot of people when I was discussing it was that, yo, can you not look at the guy's face? First of all, he's just been engaged in battle. And this is how I know that a lot of people that talk about it don't really know what it's like to be in a fight. That's because he's, I'll tell you now, if I'm in a fight with somebody, for real, when I train and I spar, I find it very difficult to bring out the side of me that would definitely win. The side of me that would definitely win. In this fight now, if I need to win right now, the side of me that would definitely win, I can't bring it out.
Yeah.
Because in sparring, if I get to that stage, I will lose control because because where I have to go, where I have to take my mind personally. Now that's just for me, and AJ said it as well, I think, in the interview after. But where I have to take myself for me to get enough aggression and anger to really actually hurt somebody at that level. Hence why I've not tried to do it fully yet, because I haven't had a fight yet. When I have a fight, I may try it. But, in sparring, it's not something that I really should try because I'll lose control completely. And if I had something going on already and then I lose control at fighting, I could have potentially ended up worse than AJ. I might have tried my best to hold it together, which means I would have walked off. I would have looked like a fucking sore loser because I wouldn't have stood there for a man to hold my hand up. I would have walked off but I would have fucking trashed my changing room. I would kick the shit out of my changing room. I'll punch all the walls. I'll lock myself in. I'll lock myself in with the key and with chairs and whatever, because I'm about to fuck that place up. And I'll tell him, you know what? Whatever I damage, take it out of my pay, because I had to do that shit. Do you know what I mean? That's how much I can lose my control.
Yeah.
If I have to take myself to a dark place in order to bring out that aggression, And I see it in a lot of fighters. There's Usman. There's even a lot of people within Usman's weight class, like Colby and Masvidal. You might not know all these names, but these guys, they're all very quite emotional when they put themselves in the fight zone. And I guess Masvidal, he punched up one of the other guys after he lost the fight. He lost the fight and then he caught him on the street and he punched him. And that was an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of reaction that I don't stand by that reaction. But at the same time, he doesn't stand by anybody talking about his kids. And the guy, obviously mentioned his kids on the build up to the fight, so he lost his cool. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you go to a very dark place, it's very difficult to get someone out of it. I've seen Usman at the end of the fight, and after he charged up, even on a win, he's still like beating himself, like because he can't eat. He looks like he cannot find composure. And you know, some people like Usman, he lost and he didn't crack because I reckon because he knows that he knows what he done to lose. He was winning that fight the whole way, and he knows what he done to lose. But AJ, he's had a lot of pressure, a lot of talk on the outside and whatever. And I feel like the loss meant a lot more to him. And he had to go to dark places to try and find that. But sorry, I drifted on it. He looked very, very emotional in that moment. You know, and I do feel like a lot of people really didn't actually sympathize with him, empathize with him in the fact that, like, yo, this guy gets his face crashed in regularly. He gets frustrated, you know. People, especially in combat, you know, in a combat sport, you're gonna find yourself frustrated a lot of the time, you know, because losing means you get beaten up.
Yeah.
It's not the same as football, you know. Football, you lose. It's like, oh, the fans are angry. You might be upset with yourself, but you didn't just get your head pumped in and your face kicked in. And this guy just got his face punched in and he lost the fight. And he's had pressure and whatever, and I feel like people don't really, they haven't really recognized his mental state. You know?
Being stuck in the public eye is definitely not easy. And
you were mentioning earlier on, wasn't you?
Yeah, and you know, like, you know, for some reason, the people who actually do something, they're the one that are criticized. You know, I feel like everyone is just like the public is just all the time with celebrities or like any you know, famous person. They're just like they're criticizing these people, or like, you know, not being compassionate at all and just like had to say and all that. When it seems like those ones they actually do, they are just the one being criticized, and people like can be very mean, you know. People can just like
go there like,
you
go
know,
on
that's
your
what I'm
family
saying, you know, that's what I'm saying, go put yourself in that situation, then let's see if you handle better. Since like, you know, you're talking there and all that,
and you know what, what's crazy about them is like, I feel like, and I think I know why, but I think it's what we value as people, generally speaking. You know, the media is what controls, generally speaking, is what controls what we value.
Very true.
Yeah. So when we go out there and we see flashy shit and, you know, all of these things that make you want to live life and, you know, do your thing, it tends to hit you sort of, it makes you focus on the things that take you away from the actual natural joys of life, like,
I agree,
you know,
with that.
Family, you know,
love,
mother nature, especially
Mother
living in a concrete jungle. You know, when you live high rises everywhere, we're so far. Like, I feel like we're actually so far away from spirituality in terms of what's available to us. Because,
of course.
You know, certain places you can just go find green, find grass, find fresh air, and find whatever. And like, you know, whenever I go outside London, like, even I used to go link up with my boy in Lancaster, hang type Y Biz. He, you know, there was a time we used to just go chill in the park and smoke a little something. And the feeling of chilling in the park there, as opposed to chilling in the park here, is
completely
so different.
It is
so different. Like, even breathing, like, it felt so different up there than it does in big city London, in
of course
busy city London.
I agree.
So that lack of spirituality, and the media control what we value.
Of course.
So when the media's controlling it, like, you know, from young, we know about logos, all these different logos. You know, we don't know what they represent at first, but eventually, like, I'll be honest with you, I used to walk past the bookies, you know, like bookmakers, gambling spot. I used to walk past it all the time. Never ever knew what it was. And then one day, I walked past, I was like, yo, I swear, like, I see people coming out of here with peas. Like, see people coming out here, they're like, you know.
What's happening?
And you start putting things together. And like, you know, one day I went there and tried it out. And I was like, oh, this is fucking dangerous. This shit is dangerous. Like, and, you know, for a couple months here, I was going there a bit too often. I won't lie. I was like, nah, this is peak. You know, you can end up going there thinking that you're winning and not realizing that, you know, by the end of the day you're losing. And
and that thing can get very addictive.
You just don't. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there's so many of them when you're in the hood, especially when you live in like more, you know, hood areas like Newham, London Borough of Newham, and the one thing that you tend to see is the things that kill you: gambling, junk food. Do you know what I mean?
That's very true.
Alcohol spots. You know, that's what you see. When I go to certain areas out, you know, in Central or whatever, you know, after a certain time, it's hard to even find a fucking shop open in Central. I'm like, what the fuck? But that's because I believe that, you know, media controls the class, you know, and the class, obviously, whatever they're giving out the information to people from one area is not going to be the same, not always the same information, but sometimes even if it's the same information, it's not presented in the same way.
The same way, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They control communication. They control what people needs to know, or
triggers and emotions.
Yeah, or what they don't need to know, because that's the thing. Like, majority of like media or like just the government itself, they don't want people to know much information, so they don't want them to know much about it. You know, that's how
the more you know, the more dangerous you are to them.
Exactly. And the more you know, the less you speak about it, you know. So, you know, the majority of people, they know, they don't speak about it, you know.
It's because also there are agendas out there to dumb down some of the ideologies that are, you know, that we find out about, some of the conspiracies that you tend to stumble across. There's always something that sort of traps it and makes it look like, oh yeah, you flat earthers or whatever. Like I you know, I don't particularly know about Earth. I don't believe that the Earth is flat or that the Earth is circle. I don't give a shit, really.
No,
you know, all I know
those
is that
things,
I walk. All I know is that I walk and the surface is flat. You know, but you know, if you know, as you know, you wouldn't recognize something is wrong when it's like over a major distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that I feel like whatever we're fed already, it sort of leads to what we value.
That's another.
It sort of leads to what we value. Yeah. So
that's
we end up
true.
valuing things like nice cars, good looking
stuff.
people, nice cars, nice clothes, trainers. But what they show us sometimes, they show us nice houses and shit, but they don't show us what it takes to get there. Because what it takes to get there is a very ugly process, a process where you doubt yourself and you get frustrated with yourself.
That's it.
They don't show you that, but they do show you the whole, you know, oh, this is the lavish life and this is whatever. So everything that's put out to us is like put out to us in a way where you feel like, well, you know, that's there, that's available. So we should actually be striving for that. I'll allow it. So we should be striving for that. We should be going for that shit.
Yeah.
How are we attacking life, you know, a 9-to-5 job, working your ass off because you've got a car that you love so much and it's costing you £500 or £600 a month to pay for it and to run it. You know what I mean? And you don't earn, you know, how many people earn, you know, over that bracket, or else it wouldn't be such a big deal.
That's the thing. They feed you with the thing to understand. That's.
Pardon me.
We stop for a second.
It's one of those calls that's like not gonna stop until I put my phone on complete mute. Okay. All right, cool. So it's on mute and face down so that I don't get distracted.
Thing. Yeah.
But yo.
No, yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's the thing, like nowadays I feel like the world is so obsessed with over materialistic thing, like thinking that really once you own a house, a nice car, you're gonna be happy and all that, which is very sad, I think, to actually, you know, because at the end you actually
take nothing with you.
Nothing with you.
Nothing goes.
And you know, like I see majority of times like celebrities try to speak about this, you know, like there was, you know, Jim Carrey or like Johnny Depp, they were actually talking about how they got everything and they still ended up in depression. They still ended up like in crazy shitty mental situation, even though they had all the money available for them. And so many people, they're gonna comment on that saying, oh yeah, you say that because you got.
I would like to know about it when I
have the money and all that. Oh, I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini rather than cry in a shitty hole like that. But I'm like, you didn't have those money, right? And you're thinking to know more than the people that actually did have this money. So, they do know, like, what instead of actually,
know what it takes.
They do
know what it takes.
Exactly.
Because they're there.
They're there already, and instead of taking inspiration from that, still judging and criticizing, when like try to understand these people, they got everything you will want to. Well, you define everything what life is about. They got everything, nice car, multiple houses, everything, fame and all that, and still they're there, depressed and all that. Why?
The guy that played Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot his name.
He died, right?
Yeah, he killed himself. He took his own life.
Robert Williams. No, Will. Yeah, something
Robin
like
Williams.
Robin Williams. Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah. They got two of them: the singer and the actor. Yeah. So the actor, he killed him. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I always say to myself, like, yo, I actually don't want to experience that kind of money.
Exactly.
If this is what it might have, you know what I mean? This is a potentially, because right now, what I've gone through as a man myself, I can say, yo, I handled it. So for me, when I look at another man and I'm like, yo, with all of this and all of that, and it's not just him, there's loads of people that's done it. So you look at all the different people that have done it and you think, these guys look like strong people that make other people laugh, people that, show that they're really strong inside, fighters, all sorts of people, and they go out and kill themselves. And you think, fuck,
yeah,
you killed yourself with all this money and family and whatever you're going through. I don't even want to know. I don't want that to come my way, because I'm thinking a lot of the time, some of the things that I stress about, money can solve it. Yeah, and that's the thing, is because I do value the things that I have that can't be paid for. But at the same time, I do recognize that I can take myself out of a situation or out of a certain space, take people around me out of a certain space if I have the money to do so.
Yeah, that it's what you value, because again, I believe that it's not what happened in life, it's the way you approach the things that happen in life. So there is always a way for you. The solution is one, for me it's the other, because it depends on the way you approach that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Money, of course, it can be the solution for a lot of things.
See, that's the thing. I wouldn't call it a solution, but
it can be. It can be the.
Some of my problems, I wouldn't call them problems that are problems.
Exactly.
I'll call them aims.
Situation. Yeah.
I wouldn't even call them situation. I'll call them aims.
Yeah.
I call it a problem because I feel like I work harder when I've got a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I end up calling it a problem, right? But no, it's more of a, we gotta hustle. We gotta get ourselves to a certain place.
Yeah.
And my approach to get myself to that certain place is to, obviously, I am quite hard on myself, but I have to be aware that I have to constantly hustle. At the same time, I don't put hustle above my mental state. I do often accidentally overstep that, and then I'm like, tone it down a little bit. But again, like, the point I was going to make even was, a lot of these people that value that because of what we see, when we go out and we judge someone and say, oh yeah, but they've got money and we got this and that and blah, blah, blah. This is what it is. It's they probably gave up, the lovely family that you have. They don't bloody see their family anywhere near as much as you see your family.
Exactly.
And that was the choice that you made. You could have said, you know what, I'm going to go to the drawing board and I'm going to spend loads of time in there.
Yeah.
And seeing your kids less.
Yeah.
And it's your choice. I don't think, especially as a man, I don't think that you should be around your kid, 24/7 for them to grow, because they do need to see that in life you've got shit to do.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want to show that dependence too much, because they just, they end up not wanting to be their own people.
Yeah.
So you do need to give, your kids
freedom.
their space.
Yeah, freedom.
and their freedom.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
You can't judge what you think these people are going through, because
only because
you ain't even put the graft in that they put. They ain't fought for what they believe in. They ain't hustled for the career that they everyone said, yo, it's difficult to get that, man. You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And they've gotten past that, and now they've got people saying, yo, but you've got all this money.
Yeah.
Yo, they broke their backs for that shit. They gave up shit.
Exactly.
Some of them have broken relationships. A lot of people have broken relationships because of what they're chasing. Because as they say, you have to be quite obsessed to achieve something at quite a high level. You have to like grow an obsession to it, and growing an obsession always comes with its positives. But to be honest with you, normally obsession leads to a lot of
negativity. I agree with that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no obsession brings any healthy results, to be honest. So yeah, I don't think it's even right, even if you want one thing so much, it's not even right to actually bring I see you're looking at.
No,
am I
no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
You're good. Yeah.
That loud. Yeah.
I'm always like staying alert and whatever.
Yeah, if I'm like, yeah, sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, even if you want something so much, I don't think it's healthy to grow an obsession over that, because then it actually goes against your well-being, and it's something always outside of you, and when like what you really need to seek foremost before anything, it's like within you, then the other things comes after. It can be love, it can be money, it can be family. That's everything outside of you that you need to seek. You can seek only when you've done the work within yourself, because I feel like a lot of people, they tend to look for external things, instead of like inside of you, when like if you actually do want the external things, you need to work within the internal things,
Some people think that growth is growth, like now I've stepped up to a new car.
Exactly.
Or
yeah.
now I've got the mortgage. That's not always growth. Like you could have a mortgage, and like, but you're in a job that you fucking hate. You hate that job. But can you leave that job now because you got a mortgage? No. Exactly. So have you chosen happiness? No. You haven't chosen happiness. Not to discourage people from mortgages, but I'm just saying, like, if you choose a mortgage at a certain point of your life, and you ain't got your within sorted out, and you're not in a job that you feel like you can die with, what tends to happen is you're gonna find it within yourself to either quit, find yourself in a big problem later on, or just be in a job that, you really hate yourself for doing.
Yeah, makes you happy. What I mean? Yeah.
You've got to find that love within yourself, and the love for what you do as well.
Exactly.
As soon as you love what you do, it makes it easier. It doesn't make it work.
Everything. That's the thing. And that's what mostly you said, that love within yourself. That what needs to start everything from that, like a lot of people, then they tend to get into toxic relationship literally because they seek some love outside of themselves, and they feel a hole inside of them. They tend to fill that up through like love from someone else, and when they realize that person is not capable of filling that hole, what's happening or whatever,
it becomes
toxic. Yeah, that you become toxic, and you try and like vent everything out to that person, saying, okay, you're not giving me enough, when it's like everything is within yourself, and that's so
real talk.
That's very much the journey of like, you see spirituality and all that. That's really like when people seem like, oh, spirituality, what it is about, like meditation, all that. That's not really that. It's your journey within yourself, like self-love that needs to come before anything, self-love, it's the most important thing ever, and that's where everything starts, from within you. And then, life is just a reflection of how you feeling inside. If you're upset, even if someone just tell you, oh, you dropped something, you're like, oh yeah, so what? What I mean? If you're upset within yourself, you see everything like as an aggression,
Yeah.
When like everything is fine within yourself, someone comes to tell you, okay, that's something like he comes to me and just like just be angry with me. Okay, you know what? It's something related to you. I know that I'm peace with myself. You want to be upset with me. Okay, that's something related to you. Nothing related to me. So it's basically what we were talking about earlier.
People
someone
project out.
Yeah, so now if someone come to you and try to attack you before, you will have like, how do you dare to do that?
Bruv.
Yeah. Now we're like, okay, it's about you, it's not about me.
Yeah, so it's because it's also how it makes you feel as well. When I get angry and I get frustrated, I always later on feel like, oh man, I gave that person a bit
power.
too much heat.
Yeah.
I gave that person not even power sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I overreacted. I gave him too much heat.
Yeah.
I'm like, not even that he doesn't deserve it or he does deserve it, but it's like, I didn't need to give him that. I didn't need to, he can't even handle that. Whatever. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But in life, again, whatever you got within yourself, you project out. So whenever I was going through shit, if I was at football, people do a lot of stupid shit all the time to me, but I can react appropriately when my head's right. If I'm in a situation where shit's a bit fucked up and my head's a bit all over the place, the minute someone does something a little bit out of character or out of place, kicking me instead of the ball, I might kick you back, I might punch you back. I don't know. But I do try to keep it as professional as possible. I keep that in mind. I keep it in mind that discipline is for myself. It's not really for anyone else. That discipline is for me. So,
very well said.
I am very disappointed in myself when I get into a fight afterwards. Not that I'm like, oh, yo, I fucked that guy up. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, yo, I fucked him up, but he deserved it, but fuck. I need to, how old am I, man? I'm too old for this shit.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it does come like that for me. So I do end up feeling very disappointed in myself. But
that's mostly.
That's been a long time, man, because I really do not find it within myself to react too much. And to be honest, even when I do react, it's only people that you really give a shit about that I can react to. I really can't give a reaction to somebody I don't know or care about.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's just like,
I'm
yo,
the same.
who are you? Who are you again?
Yeah.
Get them out of your space.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. But even that, it's about ego, really. I used to be quite aggressive person, very much.
Aggressive Italian.
Yeah, very with anger issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, anger issues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Used to be very anger issues.
So tell me, what, physical as well? Or?
Yeah, I got in a lot of fights back in that. If you go to my city, everyone, everyone
she's back with the gloves.
No, I swear now I will not touch anyone. I wouldn't care. But yeah, back in the days, a lot of people knew that they didn't need to
bring you any headache
go over limits. Well, actually, one crazy night. Now that I think about it, one crazy drunk night involving a fight.
Okay.
So of course, if I was already quite nervous and aggressive person, normally with alcohol was if everything was multiplied,
times 5 times 10.
Exactly. So I could get very aggressive or very dominant. This is my space. Don't get and we will go clubbing and all that. And one time I got in a fight with this trans woman, which was a man.
Was a man, okay.
And yeah, he was just there, and then he pushed me, and I was like, "Oh, how do you dare?" Just by mistake, and I was like, "How do you dare to push me?" and all that,
Yeah.
And of course, I was too drunk that I didn't even realize he was actually a man.
Oh.
It was actually a black man,
Oh.
tall like crazy. And with another friend, it was as well
transgender.
Yeah.
So basically, you were fighting two dudes.
Yeah, and basically, I was so drunk that I confused them. So I went to the security and say, "Oh, this is the one that beat me out." Because of course he beat me out because he was a man. He was very strong man,
Yeah.
and after the first one beat me out, you know, the second one, I say, okay, this is the one, and they took the friend out instead. He wasn't the one,
instead of the one that
the other one, and that one literally, I remember I was talking to my friend. This guy literally dragged me from my hair, like I don't know, like 2 meters, like that. And I remember, like, they literally, both of them, I got fucked up from both of these one. But
that's crazy though.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's.
But that's a bump. See, we were talking about this in the last episode. We were talking about if males that became females and they went into sports, you know, and there were certain sports, you know, like, so we spoke about swimming because there was that dude that changed to a woman and he was doing swimming, and he was like one of the poorest ranks when he was a male swimmer. But when he became a female swimmer, he started beating all the women. And it's just like, well, obviously, because, you know, he's a dude. He's swimming faster with the males, just not fast enough to be an elite male. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's bullshit. So obviously, when you see that kind of situation, like, it's very interesting to see in the future how they'll deal with those situations. If you've got a biological female with a male that's turned to a female. Like, as a police officer, as a security guard, how would you react to because they're making it strict now. It's like, oh, you gotta call him or her or whatever, like in workplaces and shit.
Right.
So it's like, if a dude that turned to a woman beat up a woman that was already a woman from birth, or, you know how they say biological, how would they deal with that? Are they gonna trial her as a male or a female? Are they going to, is the security guard going to be worried about manhandling her the same way he worries about manhandling a woman? No, but I'm talking about in the future. Right now, obviously, people are still like, you know.
I think they should as a woman, because that person is a woman right now, you know. So of course, like, that person should have the, you know, actually the inner knowledge that, okay, if I get in a fight with a woman, like, I have much more strength.
But that's the thing. They're not going to think that, are they? I mean, the guy that dragged you by your hair didn't think that.
Well, I started...
I know, but look, if you started with me, there's no point that I would drag you by your hair.
Yeah, of course.
I probably would end up there hugging you like this.
Yeah,
locking you up and just drag you and just carry you out of my space. Like, if I have to, if I'm forced to, you know. Like, I try, you know, but, you know... Yeah, I mean, if you've made a transition now, you genuinely believe that you're a woman now, you would confidently attack another woman, wouldn't you? Like, if you have a problem and you're an aggressive person, you would confidently attack another woman. So obviously, I personally will try that person as a male, because even though you have transferred and you do know that you're saying that you're a woman, you're not stupid enough to know that you're built like a fucking brick shithouse. Like, if I turn to a female right now, like, I would never get in a fight with a female ever, because it's like, yo, look at the fucking size of me, man.
Yeah, but are you still thinking as a male? You're still thinking as a male. For them, it's actually different,
exactly,
you know?
But this is what I'm saying. From the outside, I can't accept that person's word, because biologically, you have a major advantage, and that advantage could get you killed. For instance, because males can punch another male and kill them. I've actually not experienced it in real life, but I've known of somebody that's done that to someone and spent time for it, you know, and they didn't even get life, but the other person died, you know, and it was a punch. Punched him, they hit their head on the floor.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's what I'm saying, like, that's a male to another male. So I always think, like, yo, someone that was biologically a male that turned to a female, I respect what you feel inside and how you feel about it, but I do not respect if that person is of an aggressive nature and they go out to... Same way I don't respect... There was a male that turned to a female and was fighting in one of these fighting championships. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? And it was ridiculous, because when that woman punched the biological woman, that woman looked like she doesn't want to be here anymore. And after to me, it looked fucking ugly. It looked disgusting. It looked like... It looked like domestic violence, because I could see, no matter how much you try to be a female, I can see the physical dominance.
Of course.
And it was fucking scary, man.
Yeah. I think about it now. Yeah, I agree with you because, I mean, it's can be very destroying. Like if you take advantage of that, you can very hurt.
But that's what
someone.
I'm saying. Don't you think that the guy that's doing the swimming, he swam as a male? He swam as a male.
Yeah, but
so for me, like, not maybe for him, whatever. But there has to be maybe, and I heard they're talking about it. It has to be some rule that, like, yo, listen, we respect how you feel, but if you are a male and you turn to a female, you're also giving up your right to compete as a female, because we cannot have you competing.
Yeah, but like in this time we're in 2022, and I feel like it's very important to give freedom as well. Like, otherwise, these people, they were never gonna have equality. You know, like we need to build a system that actually gives them equality, because then they will never feel like women. You know.
Then what we have to do is, unfortunately, we have to make a subcategory, because you can't. Yeah, think of it this way.
That way,
I don't want to see a woman that was biologically a male ever in any world fight a woman that was biologically a woman. I don't want to see that in any world. Nothing to do with how the person feels, nothing to do with their choices in life. It's just purely they can't take away that physical aspect. They can't get rid of it. Like, you've seen them. They can try their best to slim down and do whatever, but there would always be that imbalance of testosterone. There will be that testosterone level that will be higher than the female, enough to do damage to the female. So for me, in a fair world, that doesn't happen. In a fair world, we have male gender. The reason why males don't fight females is because we don't want to see that. The same way, if we're saying that this is your gender, as in you are biologically this, but you turn to this, we have to make a category for people that are going through that, to allow them to participate. But they can't participate with other females, surely.
Yeah, mostly not for the fighting. I agree with that, because it would not be fair.
Even some of the physical sports, though, think about it. You know, imagine women's rugby, women's athletics. You know, think of the world record for women. The women's world record it doesn't touch 9 seconds. Usain Bolt runs 9.5.
Yeah, but in this way, like in a world where we're trying to strive for equality, like in that way, these people, they will not feel ever belonging to, like, it's their category.
But then wouldn't you as a woman feel like, yo, but I worked my fucking ass off all my life, you know, and I'm against somebody that has a physical advantage on me.
Yeah, I will say, as you said in the beginning, like creating maybe some sort of like
subcategory, right?
No, maybe, or like some situation where like the other one starts to be like an advantage compared to the transgender one.
You know, there's not many situations you can think of.
Yeah, that's true.
Because what we're doing is we're changing the sport as well, then, altogether.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's never an attack on that.
Well,
anyway.
to be honest,
I'm not raising an attack on it at all. I'm just thinking logically, in order to make something fair for both sides, that can't happen. You know, and maybe, you know, making another category that's respectful, but once upon a time, there was some of the sports that exist now that females didn't do at all.
Right.
Yeah. And it was only males. Yeah. So the equality in bringing the category for the females, that had to happen. That makes sense. It has to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've got more people coming out saying that they're during the transition. They have to now create that category too, because or else, what would we have said? We would have said, "Oh, what female want to be involved? Okay, just throw them in with the men."
Yeah, no, I agree.
You wouldn't have made the women's category for football or for rugby or for basketball, because there's a physical advantage. When you look at all of the world records in everything, they're so far apart in males and females. Of
course,
I just feel sorry for a woman that's worked her ass off.
Yeah.
You know, for a whole life.
Yeah.
Trained, you know, whatever X amount of times and changed their lifestyle, made their sacrifices, you know, and as much as it's, you know, we should call it nature, but it's unfair, nevertheless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, it depends so many factors. There are some like men, they are physically, like some women are even more like thick than some.
You're right.
Some men in general, but or another idea would be to actually make the transgender compete with the same male.
What, with somebody else that transitioned?
No, with men,
with
you know, with, you know, and that might be even like a good way to elevate, you know, to promote, you know, this transgender, like
the
maybe.
The only problem is that will put them at a disadvantage because they'll be using supplements to increase their estrogen.
Very true.
You understand?
Yeah, I guess
when we talk about it, you know, psychologically is where we're thinking about the transition for them. For them, it's psychologically because their body is still doing the things that a male's body does. It can still produce sperm. It's still producing testosterone at ridiculous levels. If that person gets charged up, that person is a scary fucking dude. You know what I mean? Whether or not you made a transition, if that person goes crazy and wants to fight, that person cannot fight a woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with
that.
But
you know, again, it's you know, we're speaking about it anyway because, as I said, like that is a crazy story. Like to get in a fight with two people that transition from male.
Yeah, the thing
for
is
me,
like
that is crazy.
Yeah,
like you didn't realize when you did it, right?
Of course not.
Okay,
but people like around you're like you're mad.
Yeah, I was about to say if you realize, then you are like you might as well join me in MMA.
Yeah,
you might as well join me at MMA because if you're willing to fight two dudes, like one woman ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah,
and one woman ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah,
You've got two males that turn to females, but they're still fucking 6 foot something. Mate, you might as well have fought me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I told you I was in a very crazy situation, mentally angry. Like it's not even about how strong you are when you got a lot of
anger, though, innit?
You know, when you got a lot inside, you don't care who you got in front of you. If you needs to bring out, you know, all these things inside of you, you don't very care, and that's why
that is the problem with that.
You know, as soon as there is something like a sparkle, you're like, bam, you know, already crazy to go, and you know, it's just like it doesn't matter who you know. But that's very much ego, you know. Like before, it's like, oh, she tried, she's there to do something like that to me.
So can you be angry? Can you be angry because of not ego? Like, can something else make you angry that's not related to ego?
I don't think so. I think it's about, you can still make your point. You can still like maybe raise your voice if that person is just talking bullshit and all that. But the emotion is not gonna affect you, you know? Like you're not
gonna want to do something about it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like, I think when there is anger, it's about mostly ego. There is something within you that has touched you. Because as you said before, if something you don't give a shit about it's not going to touch you. It's not going to create anger to you, you know. So when it's something touching you, something that is touching your person, so your ego. So I think, it's related to...
That's interesting.
I think
because I've never thought of it that way. I did think, anger is definitely related to ego. But I did think that, you know, it should possibly, like, for instance, you know, if you love somebody and they done you dirty, they done something like very bad to you. So forget about even cheating. Maybe they tried to get you harm. You know, so they demolished the trust. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
is the ego now? I am angry at the fact that I could trust someone and they'll do that to me? Or is the ego like, or is the anger, that, I really love this person?
You're angry.
Why are they doing this to me?
You're angry at yourself. That's the thing. You think you're angry at them, but you're angry at yourself that you're allowed that person the
For me,
freedom.
I only find out hindsight. Like, at the time, I'm angry at that motherfucker. I want to kill that motherfucker. But obviously, I'm able to contain it. And later on, when I think about it, it's like, I'm angry at myself for trusting such a bitch-ass nigga. I mean,
you know, I think I'm saying, like, it's very difficult to believe, and I'm learning as well. Sometimes I can get irritated quite easily still, you know, just randomly like that. But honestly, it's all a projection inside of you. Like, if you, I remember, like, maybe it happened with some guys that I could get easily irritated with them because they were stepping over the boundaries with them, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end, I was projecting my anger towards them.
Yeah.
when it's like the anger was at the end about myself, because who's setting the boundaries? I'm the one setting the boundaries. So if they're stepping over my boundaries, it's because I didn't set enough the boundaries, you know. So how can I get upset with them, you know? Like, you get upset with them, honestly.
What about someone that's persistent, someone that was bothering you constantly, someone that won't let you go, you know, like, because I'm sure every female's experienced someone like that, like somebody that will, like, you know, every time they see you, they're like, oh yeah, they're trying to be a bit too touchy. Maybe they're being a bit, you know, present on your social media, trying to, you know, message you via your socials or something like that. Like, have you ever had anyone that's been too pressy, a bit too?
Yeah.
And like, you know, even then, like, you can keep your cool for as long as you want, like, but eventually someone like constantly poking you is gonna.
Yeah, but even that, I truly do believe it depends on you, because
Is there? Sorry to start. Sorry to cut you. Okay, I did. Is there not an animalistic instinct that we have that's related to anger? Because when you look at other animals, you can poke an animal, they'll get angry and they'll fucking turn around and they're gonna want to deal with you. And I don't think their ego comes too much into play when that happens. I think there is more, you know, you're making it angry, you're poking it don't like that feeling. You done it again, it doesn't like that feeling. But naturally, its reaction is to claw when something is a problem.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, do we not have an animalistic instinct?
We do, yeah, we do.
That could make us get angry at certain things, like.
Yeah, but that's you know, that's always related to emotion, like the way, if like you let emotion control you over or not, you know. Like, I'm someone very connected with my emotions, and when you let your emotion control, you're fucked. And that's where, like, either anger, either fear, either shame, whatever emotion can have the best out of you. But that's what makes the difference between us and animals, you know. Animals, they don't have the ability to actually overthink, analyze their emotion. They just come out because that's nature, you know. You know, they just come like that, and they take it the way it is, you know. That's why they're animals. We are animals as well. We come
social,
from
though, aren't we? We're social.
Yeah, we're social animals. We belong to, like, we come from animals, but we evolved and we have the ability to actually think and be able, maybe
create
you
a
know,
bit beyond.
Yeah, you know, and
evolve
and all that, you know. So, you know, of course, the first reaction might be like, with anger would be anger back, you know. But you know, the ability of like go over is like, actually, when someone show you anger, just show some, you know, love back, and you know, you done yours, and bye, you know. And that person, you know, is gonna feel, trust me, you're gonna have way more effect on that person if you just like show them love after they show you anger. They're gonna be like, whoa, you know, and they're gonna feel shit. If you like, if I'm upset with you, and you're gonna show me kindness and love, I'm gonna feel shit after I, you know, I've been aggressive with you.
What people tend to do when they feel like shit is project that again.
Against, yeah, that's
project
right.
that again.
Exactly.
Because like, yo, now I'm a shit person. Like, like everybody, this is what people think of me. This is what I am. This is, you know, and yeah, it's an endless cycle. But as I said, look, do you know what? Social media, society, everything social, government. As I said, I just believe that from early, they're painting things out, and they already have control of our movements and our temperament, like how we react to things. Like, hence why they can come out and say, oh, immigration this, immigration that, and before you know it, everybody votes Brexit. And it's like, guys, you used shitty stats that don't have anything to do with Brexit. You use those statistics to choose Brexit. Since Brexit, I think we've lost 3 prime ministers. Like, 3 prime ministers have stepped down. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Oh my
3 prime ministers have stepped down. Was it not? What's that woman's name again? I forgot a woman, but there was one. It was the woman that came after David Cameron.
I have no idea.
And then that woman stepped down, and then Boris Johnson stepped in.
Yeah, now there
is
is
like at this rate, at this rate, I don't even know who it is now, and I've not even tried to check on my life.
Yeah, now
I live under a rock now.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because I'm tired of it.
I don't, I like to keep myself, informed about a lot of things, but politics is something that I don't want to deal with that anymore. I don't care.
It's because there's too many things in place that already make you chase your own shadow.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're just chasing yourself. You're frustrated with yourself. You're already in the system. There's ways around the system that we can work, but you're going to focus on the fact that the system's fucked. Like, the system knows how to get you.
Yeah, and the first time I saw you, I told you this, and majority of people think that society need the system, but it's actually the system that needs
society.
People, needs society.
The system needs everyone.
The system is the people, you know what I mean? So like, there is just few people in the world that know how to control it, but, but people should very much realize like how powerful they can be, and
as an individual and as a people.
Man, like everyone's got a voice. Everyone should actually, even if just small voices would be able to actually make the difference. Just like, I think majority of people are very afraid to go against.
Do you know what it is as well though? It's because it's the devil that some people are just like too used to that energy, sticking to the devil, sticking to the problem that has always been here and you're still living. So let me just continue with this problem rather than explore something that could be better for you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. The unknown is scary for everyone, sometimes it's better to stick to what you know, even if it's not great, rather than go for something you don't know, but no.
But that's the safe way to live.
Yeah,
I'm not really that safe a guy.
Me neither, really. Yeah. It's very important, like, take risk. Yeah.
It's not for me, people.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think about social media?
Social media, generally speaking?
Yeah.
I don't like social media for anything beyond, like, the promotion of my music. I do interact with people, but I don't want to call it agenda. I like learning from people, but I don't take much from what they post. So that's why I'm more drawn towards like going live on TikTok or Instagram, because people pop up, you end up meeting different kind of people and having kind of conversation that you can learn things from. Mm-hmm. Some of the topics that I bring up come from the fact that I've had some of those conversations with people. Mm-hmm. Some of the people that I've brought on was because someone said something that made me think, I could bring this guy in and we could talk about that a bit more. Mm-hmm. So, social media for me is just, it should be for businesses and for creatives that want to obviously put out a little bit of what they've got, and obviously showing it to people. But obviously, what people fail to do is have a target result. Where is the people going from the social media? So it's not just because even I've made that mistake. You get the social media, you get the numbers up, but then obviously you haven't got something. All of your work is being pressed into the Instagram. You're getting loads of content for the Instagram, and now you need to get everyone to come out of this space and go into where the money's gonna be made, where the listeners are gonna listen, where the viewers are gonna actually take note. Mm-hmm. You need to go into that area. So social media is good and bad. I mean, if you don't use it for business and things like that mainly, I think what it does is it dumbs you down. It lowers your concentration span. It controls your emotions. You don't realize it. Sometimes you're just there watching something. You're thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this why is this on my screen? Like, why? Or, like, why is this even a debate? Is everyone crazy? Like, sometimes I see some posts and I'm like, yo, is everyone crazy? Why did you ask me this question? It's like, is murder okay? Basically, you might as well just tell me, yo, 6 million ways to die. Everyone, there's like how many billion people? So 1 billion can choose one way of killing each way. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't know what hits my screen sometimes, and it makes me angry sometimes because I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that, and I've seen it now. And that's some things is like, some things is just like it's worthless, and it's like, why did I even look at that? It wasted half a minute of my time. But what it does is mainly it lowers your. That's the worst thing I think it does. It lowers your concentration span because we're used to watching things before social media. We're used to watching things in full for the full duration. We'd watch a show, we'd watch a TV show, we'd watch a series, we'd watch a movie, whatever it is we watch, we'd watch it in full. Now we watch things in micros, just like in little micro bits of information, almost like, real life is Twitter. Real life is like, it's only a set amount of characters allowed, and our bodies don't, like, even the way we deliver music now has changed because of the way people promote music. We're using social media a lot. So now some people like to make, I think this Central C, he makes songs that are like around 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
And he keeps them that long, which makes sense because at this rate, that is the concentration span. You're going to get maximum 1.5 to 2 minutes out of a 4-minute song. You might as well make a 2-minute song and put everything into that. And, that's what I think of social media, to be honest. It's not really great for you. It creates it creates comfort for a lot of people that are not capable of doing shit in real life. So in other words, fake gangsters that can't do certain shit that they talk about in real life, the people that criticize all these fighters that couldn't even raise a finger, that wouldn't say this if they were standing in front of the person themselves. You got a lot of people saying, looking like millionaires, but you don't realize that their bank account is full of paid for this rental, paid for that rental, and paid for this rental. What, for a picture? For one night out, whatever.
It's not real. It's really not real environment.
Everyone is not rich. Everyone is not doing this. Everyone is not doing the same shit. But when you go online, everyone's doing it.
Exactly. That's true. It's
just created as a distraction, really.
It is.
It's good and bad. You can connect with people across the world now.
Yeah.
By the same way, you can connect with an arsehole across the world who doesn't give a shit about you.
Doesn't know anything. Yeah. I do believe the same. I do believe that they're very powerful too because, as you said, they, you can just connect with someone completely on the opposite side of the world. But I think they're very much used in the wrong way nowadays because there is promotion of like very useless things nowadays.
Useless things, violent things.
Yeah, or like these things of like, wanted to share where you went for dinner or like the picture of like your dress or whatever. Like, and I was actually seeing this.
Comment your photo.
Yeah. I was actually seeing this video that from Ed Sheeran that he said people who post selfie or like just images of yourself on social medias, they are actually sad people because they seek validation from others. You want them to the other people to tell you, oh my god, how pretty you are,
and
all
the amount of likes
that
you've got is what will make
defines
them feel
you.
whether
Yeah,
they're nice.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
I look like shit. I only got this many likes.
And I think it's very toxic, and the fact they capture like just certain parts of your day or like your life in general, where everything seems perfect, and
you can make it.
Yeah. You look, everything like that. And someone from the other side, maybe it's just like on the couch eating
looking
popcorn
like
and just like, they're depressed mood. I'm like, oh my God, my life is shit. Look at this one, and just you do comparison and you're just like, you know how many cases of people just kill themselves because of like social media
because
or like
bullshit,
and all that. It's just, it can be very powerful. Just like Instagram is the one that I hate the most. I don't use Instagram. I have an account. I don't use it. I don't use it. I think if you do for promoting your own business,
but this is the thing. I still don't post much because going on it, I end up like you still end up scrolling past. So what I've started doing now is I've started scheduling posts and
that's the thing.
Because if you don't do that, like you're gonna end up sucked into that shitty world of social media. But social media is whack. I won't lie to you. I just think it's very good. But as you said, it's never really fully been used for what it should be used for, which is obviously connecting with people, learning about potentially learn about new cultures. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like there should not really be a fucking racist in existence after you've got something like social media. But of course, social media would then put out sections of information again that is only in misconstrued, take out the middle, of something. Sort of like I told you about AJ who had the fight and had a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
He said a whole statement, and I think Usyk said to him, "Yo, you're a strong man," and he's like, "No, strong. What do you mean strong? You're not strong. How did you win? Yeah, it's because of skill. It's because you got skill." And you know what they done? They took out, "You're not strong. How did you win?" And they missed out everything. That statement is the biggest compliment someone can give someone. It's like, yo, listen, you're talking about strong. Yeah, I'm a big man. I do this, but you're not as big as me. You just tidied me up, bro. You just sorted me out. Like, you're stronger than me, technically. At boxing, at fighting, you're stronger than me because you know what to do. You know? He complimented him. And they took out the middle. Yeah. Cropped off the beginning, what Usyk said to him. Cropped off the end, what he finished off with. And created a whole narrative behind, you're not strong. Why did you win? He answered the question himself. He said, because you have skill. But you chop the video to there, it looks like, oh, AJ, you're such a bad guy. And you know, now we've got the whole of UK, everyone's like, oh, AJ this, AJ that.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks they're a problem. But, you know, as I said, you know, it's what you put out. Mike Tyson used to say he wants to eat your babies. You know, he says, I remember he said, I'll eat your babies in the name of Allah. Like, the guy is crazy. The guy went up to Lennox Lewis when they were meant to square up to each other. He went up to him. The security guard could already see that he was going to do something. Like, you know, you can see the security guard has, and he didn't, not like, he went straight for the swing. Mike Tyson did some savage things. People said what they wanted to say, but now everybody's like, oh, Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. Because they can see past what he gives you or what the media gives you about a person. You can only see the monster that is presented as the boxer that is a killer, you know? But you can't see the fact that, yo, this guy had loads of problems within himself. He had loads of demons that he had to battle. Everyone just thought crazy. And it's all because social media, they all cherry pick. Even people that have these social media accounts now that are doing like little bits of news outlets, they're picking out, they're doing the exact same thing that the media was doing. Yeah, they've learned the techniques and they're doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So social media is just like a more aggressive news platform now.
Yeah. That's media as always, isn't it? It's the same thing. They want them, you know, they want people to know what the others want them to know. It's not what they actually, the truth is, you know? But yeah.
Truth is spared for those that won't spoil their plans, I think.
Truth is not for everyone, you know. Sometimes you need to very be careful when you know the truth to who you're gonna tell, because some people, they don't even want to know the truth, you know. They don't want to know, and they're not ready to know the truth either. Indeed. You know. So that's sometimes you just gotta go your own way, knowing that the more people know, the less they're gonna talk. The more people are actually ignorant, the more they think they know everything. So you know, that's how it is, you know. And you just gotta accept that and feel actually compassion for them, to be honest. But
that's good.
But yeah, that's mostly.
Well, it was lovely having you, because I'm checking the time right now and it's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking like, good.
Like a good 2 hours or something, like, you know, crazy. But like,
now it's like no recording, bro.
Imagine. You know, I've never had that problem before, but I've always had the little heart attack. You know, when walking back to it, like, shit, I hope I pressed the button. But like, if I didn't press the button, people, this is gonna be an audio episode. Woo! Yeah. You ain't gonna see. You'd see a picture of us, but you won't see the video. But nah, I know we're recording. We're good. So you know, it was amazing having you on the show. Could you also tell us a little bit before we go about, like, you said that you got something coming out, if you're able to talk about it right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? I want to know about your app. Let them know about the app.
Yeah. So I'm very bad with introduction. Before, when I started my introduction, I'm very, very awkward when it comes talking about myself, really. But yeah, so you know, talking about social media, since I don't appreciate much social media nowadays, I decided to create a social media app, you know, about a social media platform that I will enjoy using, and I think it will create actually a good opportunity for people to connect and to actually spread knowledge and actually connect one to the other.
Okay.
So there is this new app coming out soon.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called K-Light.
K-Light. Okay.
So soon, hopefully, it's gonna be on the market, on Apple Store and Google Store as well, which I work on for more than 2 years. It's been quite some time.
Hard graft.
Yeah. And even that when we're talking about, everything's got its own timing. Everything's got its own timing.
Indeed.
You can't very rush great things. So
can't rush greatness, as they say.
You can't rush greatness for real.
That's what's up.
So, I've been working very hard, ups and downs with that. It's definitely not a female type of market. So it's not, tech environment is not very female environment. And,
Indeed.
And for a young entrepreneur, it's not easy. I would not even define myself entrepreneur. It's a bit weird, I just...
You are, though. But you are, though, aren't you?
I would just say, I like to create. That's the thing, I like to create.
But the fact that you bring it to life, that's the entrepreneurial spirit. That's the part about it.
That's true.
There's loads of people, remember, there's loads of people that create and they die with their creations in a room.
True.
And then someone else finds it and values it at like something else. Remember, that's how art used to be. The artist, I could be like, yo, this picture right here is worth, 1 million.
Yeah.
And everyone will be like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on when I die and then they find out my story and like I tell them, look, I had to chop my hand off to get some, and I used part of my blood, mixed it with the paint to get some crazy shit. Like I just tell them something that I felt was a mad idea and mad creative for me. And most people would appreciate that afterwards,
Yeah.
But the ability to bring it to life now, that's the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, and that's the most difficult because that's the thing. Like everyone can have ideas, but how to bring them to life is very the difficult part of it. And entrepreneur, whatever it is, I like to create. I'm a very creative person, and I think creativity is very, very much important. And when it comes to creation like that, or like music, for me, it's the same thing. It's just like it's a part of me just trying to be expressed in a different ways, which and this for the app is more like masculine part of point of view rather than music is more like full emotions, like music is just like all my feminine type of energies that just like all just emotion, no mind.
This is more you like letting, like when you're making music, it's more you letting go.
Yeah, it's just like every just emotion without like any type of like, logic or anything like that. Just like emotion and all of it. And this part was more like, scheduling, organizing, like attending meetings and all that, or like even just be in charge of the situation. So it's more like the masculine type of,
that's the boss mode.
Exactly,
boss mode.
So it's important that you embrace both of it, so it's been, hopefully you're gonna see it quite
listen,
quite soon. You never know,
We will. And like when it comes out again, make sure you holler at me, get your ass in here. Maybe we can get 21.
Yeah, so
we can talk
21.
about it a bit more.
We started with 21. We're gonna finish with 21.
You know what I mean?
21 there. And definitely thank you so much for having me. It's gonna be
joining us.
Yeah, it's gonna be next time when the app is gonna be out already, we can have another chit chat here with Mr. 21 there.
Mr. 21,
Yeah, Mr. 21.
What I said to him, we went to Amsterdam, and what I kept on saying to him when we were in Amsterdam, I was like, yo, 21? Why not 22?
Why not 22?
And he was just like, proper like, it came to a point where I got him a little bit like, hey, yo, man, come on, bro.
Stop, that's it.
He was just like, yo, hey, bro, come on, man, what the fuck, like, like you've been saying like all day. And I'm like, bro, like, I actually wasn't saying, yo, 21, why is it not 22? I only said that later. I was only just like pulling up the camera because I had like a little compilation I made. And like, I was pulling up the camera and saying, yo, 21, what are you telling them? What are you telling me? What are you telling me? You know, because obviously, you know, we're always blogging. We're blogging for What You Telling Me podcast as well, not just
okay, nice.
Not just a podcast. We do live shows. Sometimes I stream on our Twitch account. Make sure you join the Twitch account, WYTM podcast, right up there. And it'll probably be on the screen somewhere here soon. So yeah, make sure you join us again. That was What You Telling Me, episode 12. What I want you to do, I want you to say, "What you telling me?" Yeah, look at the camera and say, "What you telling me?"
What you telling me?
Come on, yeah, she knows. She knows. That's what's up.
What you telling me?
What you telling me, my G?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me? What you telling me, though?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Yo, it's One Delts. What you telling me, fam?